The Illinois Fighting Illini get a huge FCS transfer in this year's portal, coming over to help bolster the defensive line in Hewitt. That is Carter Hewitt. I'm Nathan Johnson alongside Brad Hopkins. It's time to break the huddle. Brad, quick intro on Carter, but I don't think you can say it enough. This is a huge addition for Illinois in a conference that really relies on the trenches. Mm-hmm. And when you're a team like Illinois and you're getting later on in the season, you've got to have depth. This guy provides it. Initial thoughts on Carter Hewitt and how does this help bolster not only defensive line, but just the defense in general for Illinois?
Absolutely, Nate. So you said huge pickup, and we can take that
quite literally.
Quite literally, a good-sized guy, a guy. I'm interested to see where he plays, but 6'5", 285, comes from Northern Iowa. It's a very, very good FCS program. That's a good program, but not a guy that if you're an Illinois fan, if you're a Big Ten fan, you go and maybe you're going to look up this guy while listening to the show. Nate's not a guy that's necessarily going to pop out with the stats. 53 tackles, a sack and a half. But Nate, something that stands out, and I'm glad you put this on our notes. He's played a lot of snaps. This guy has played a lot of football. Mm-hmm. And Nate, this is just kind of a Bret Bielema player, right? I've been really, really impressed with the job he has done at Illinois. We know they're not in a recruiting hotbed. They're not going to have the most NIL funds, but he's built a solid program there in Champaign. They're tough, they're physical, and this guy fits it. You mentioned it. Outside of the Big Ten and probably the SEC, those two conferences, you've got to have depth. Now, I don't want to take away from the ACC and Big 12, but we have just seen at the SEC and Big Ten, especially on the defensive line, you've got to go 8, 9, maybe even 10 deep. And like I said, Carter Hewitt, no, he's not a guy that's going to put up double-digit tackles for loss. He's not going to come with double-digit sacks, but a guy that has played a lot of football, that's big, is physical, that can get you some snaps. That's valuable. One other thing, but before I turn it over to you for your thoughts, this kind of guy getting in a major college football program, getting in the weight room, getting on their nutrition, getting in the facilities, Nate, we could see a completely different player. We're going to talk about a couple other guys coming from smaller schools up to those big schools. When they get an opportunity to get in, just have a bigger staff, have more facilities and opportunities to completely change their bodies, to get even more out of them athletically, it's a chance for them just to completely change their game. And Carter Hewitt kind of jumps out to me in that way.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Troy Pikes last week at South Carolina, coming over from even a FBS program in Georgia Southern, and the upgrade he's getting. You can only imagine. Now, nothing taken away from Northern Iowa. I'm sure their facilities are primo for the FCS level.
Right.
I don't think anything compares to the facilities that you can get in the Big Ten or another Power 4, Power 5, whatever you call it, conference. It's a big upgrade. My biggest comparison to this guy, and I know this is a long shot, but I think you have to bring it up, Brad. It's J.J. Watt. Kind of an underrated guy coming out of high school. Didn't really necessarily get a lot of offers coming out, but worked his way up. Same thing with T.J. Watt. Those two brothers, I mean, they weren't the most highly rated guys coming out of high school. Here's a guy who was at Northern Iowa, smaller school. Now he's getting a bigger shot at a bigger school. I think it's going to be a good fit for him. And to your point, that nutrition program, the weight room, everything combined together, you're really going to see this guy light up on the field this year for Illinois.
Absolutely. And just one other thing, I think about the Big Ten, it's such an interesting conference because of just the different, you think about the different offenses that you're going to play. You're going to play, your Iowas and your Wisconsins where, they're running it with a fullback. They're running it with 2 and 3 tight ends. Then you have your Oregon where, it's 3 and 4 wide where it's a heavy RPO game. They're playing with pace. And then, of course, you got your Ohio State. So, having these guys that, once again, they've seen a lot of snaps over their college career, and just a guy that, you're not having to rely on defensive linemen to play 90% of the snaps in a game, that's valuable. Once again, Carter Hewitt, I just think it's such a Bret Bielema player. It's such a good fit for Illinois. Nate, I'm excited to watch this guy's 2025 season.
I am too. I'm curious to see how he holds up. They bring in a couple other transfers, James Thompson Jr. from Wisconsin, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce this other guy's name from Florida State. First name, Tomiwa?
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. Sorry, I apologize, but big pickups for Illinois as well. And then, of course, you got Carter Hewitt that adds to that defensive line. It's obvious that Bret Bielema was going after defensive line.
Absolutely.
He knew what he needed to fix. They bring back a great offense.
Yeah.
I believe they still have
Luke
Altmaier. So it's going to be interesting. Again, don't want to get into a season preview. I have a question for Brad that I really want to ask. I won't this episode. I'll save it for another episode, but it involves coaching. I'll ask him after the show. But nonetheless, Illinois gets a huge pickup in Carter Hewitt. And, man, I'm excited to see what the Fighting Illini can do this year.
I agree.
And really excited to see what this defensive line can do this year.
Absolutely.
Illinois fans out there, let us know what you think about your new defensive line pickup in Carter Hewitt. Can he be the missing piece for y'all and help y'all get deeper into the season with more depth on that defensive front? And can the Fighting Illini make a playoff run in the Big Ten? Be sure to like this video, comment down below, subscribe down below, and as always, turn on that bell notification so you can stay up to date when we post our latest content. We'll see you next week. It's time to break the huddle.